So our first quadrant on the exercise really asks us to think about what we could imagine candidates saying. What are we hearing them say? You might hear things, for example, like, I really want to use my skills for good, or I want to work at a company where I have alignment with the values, or I'm really interested in connecting, each activity with a bigger picture, for example. You might hear bits of what they're inspired to do and how they're inspired to think about the work through the things that they say. The next piece, and we might use Mural or some kind of mapping tool to keep track of these. We might use different colored stickies, or we might focus on different areas of a board. If you're in person, we might do this, with Post-its on the walls or things like that. But the second quadrant we'd be working on is about what potential candidates may think. What might they want? What might they need, hope, or dream, or yearn for? Or what might they think about that influences their behavior? They might be really dreaming about a bigger picture, or wanting to work on something that they can really get their hands, dirty playing with. They might be looking for something that is constantly changing, or something that's a little bit more stable. They might have a high appetite for ambiguity, and so they're really looking for opportunities to build or rebuild things. They might be dreaming about new ways of using existing tools or skills that they have. That third quadrant is about what the candidate feels that might influence their behavior. So the bullet here goes through fearful, frustrated, or anxious, but it could also talk about, what people are feeling joy around, what are confusing people, where do people have lots of energy for pieces? So this could be like, I really feel like I could be more creative than I currently am, or I was meant to be receiving this call for this opportunity in this moment. This feels right. Or this, I'm frustrated or anxious that I might not be able to use all of my skills in my current opportunity, but this presents an opportunity to do things a little bit differently. And finally, that fourth quadrant is around, what are we witnessing potential candidates might do? What behavior do we observe? What can we imagine them doing out into the world? This could be volunteering for specific organizations or having community-based experience. It might mean that they are always advancing or innovating different policies or practices so that the team is healthy and really able to have some comfort or some direction in how the structures are set up. And so if somebody's really going out and looking for those new ways of sort of speaking with or working with their teams, this might be, a signal that a role that really requires that kind of attention and care might be the right opportunity for somebody to explore. So those are the four quadrants of the empathy map. And so we can start to think about, now that we know what we know about all of the ways that these potential candidates might be speaking about, thinking, feeling, what they might be doing out in the world, that has implications for the sourcing strategy. It can help us to really figure out where the opportunity should be posted, whether it's social media or on job boards or paid postings. Could help us to think about who could help us to spread the word, could help us to think about maybe some specific language or ways of interacting with content that might be really useful. And so we kind of we use the empathy map as sort of a grounding tool to help us to say, if we're trying to reach folks who think and feel and do these things, then this is where we need to have presence with this role so that we're catching their attention.